It is the show after the show, and it's Eden with us today.
Hey, woo!
So yeah,
Got my
you got.
shoes on, ready.
We'll explain that in a sec. So Eden has just returned to the desk here in River City Live, and this is, well, I shouldn't say your first experience on Plus, but first experience on this side, kind of, right?
Yeah, I was here with my podcast, Uncluttered and Unfiltered. Christine Stone, my co-host, and I have been guests on River City Live and have done River City Plus afterward. But yeah, this is my first time just sitting in the chair, just having a chat.
This is us chatting, and so Eden was like, "How does this work?
Yeah,
Can
what are
I-
we going to talk about? And you're like, I don't know.
Well, she's like, "How does this work? Can you see my feet? No, I mean my shoes and stuff." And I'm like, "Eden, we are way relaxed, so we can
Okay.
talk about anything.
Okay.
Most anything.
So
Most anything.
let's talk then. Can I talk about anything?
Okay, I'm right.
Okay, so when we ended the show today, I mentioned to you that I wanted pajamas for my dog. And then we got into this whole conversation on how you'll meet a dog and you'll think, oh man, we see eye to eye, this is my dog. And then you will realize I'm just way too busy. And then I stupidly said, well, maybe just it's not the right dog, which just doesn't make sense because you're right. It would not be fair to any dog.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. But then you said,
I spun
oh,
it.
there are others who think I would say the same about them, meaning like you're talking to someone and you're like, just so you know, I'm a very busy person, and then people think you wouldn't be so busy if you wanted to spend more time with me. Is that what
That's
you were saying?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So that's
All right.
probably where I'm at. But yeah,
I was just wanting clarification.
we're still working that out in therapy, y'all. So.
Oh, this isn't going to be your therapy? You have separate therapy from this?
Well, yeah, because I don't want to put all my business out there.
I understand completely.
So you're hanging with us again. I mean, we're bringing you back, or you wanted to come back. You gave up radio. Was that hard?
That was very difficult and very bittersweet. So 30 years of Jacksonville radio and people telling me things like, I remember when your son was born, or I was in high school listening to you, which is great when they're not like my doctor telling me that. I'm like, okay, I didn't need that. But, just it's very bittersweet, but it's a new adventure. And there are a lot of people who don't think that there are new adventures still left for them in their life. And I am here to tell you, you just never know what's coming your way.
I like where you come with that mentality because, like you said, people like just get locked in and it's like, this is my path. But as long, of a seasoned age, that there's no straight path. I mean,
Right.
you're just walking and you're like, oh, squirrel. And sometimes you take that path, sometimes you don't. But it's not. But I like how you were just like, I'm ready to embrace a new adventure.
You'd be surprised at how many women my age have verbalized to me that they're shocked that I'm making a change now. And I think it really actually, put that nail in the coffin for me where I was like, okay, if this is something that's making other people feel like, hey, you know what, I can make a change even though it's been, a year, 2 years, 30 years doing one job. I can do this.
But I mean, so I tell people a lot of the stuff that we do, sometimes it doesn't resonate with this person or maybe this group. But I always feel like if you can touch one person, that little butterfly effect goes so far. So you are setting people on a whole brand new, because I mean, you were doing that before because you started your fitness goals a little later in life.
That's
And-
right.
And that was just like, and I think a lot of people kind of caught on to that when you did that. They're like, oh. She
Yeah.
can do that at this age?
Well, that's the other piece of what I always tell people. And my big thing right now is walking. I'm just trying to tell everybody like walking is the best thing ever. But that's all I used to do was walk. And then in my 40s, I started to run and work out with weights and do some other things. And I love it, but it's really just the movement of it all. And I didn't even put any thought into, did I get any movement today until I was in my mid 40s.
I'm a big dude, and I have just really embraced stretching.
Yeah.
So I mean, yoga, that's a whole different animal. But when it comes to stretching, people, especially dudes, don't really realize how much that can enhance their lifestyle. Because, I mean, as we get older, we start to shrink a little bit. But to open things up and stretch muscles, I'm like, oh. Because when we first got here, you remember how bad my knee was?
Yes.
And my daughter asked me the other day, just randomly, she's like, how's your knee? And I'm like, you know what? it's actually better. Now, there's some other circumstances that we won't talk about, but just the fact that I've actually taken consideration to take that note and move
So
forward.
what's your stretching routine?
Oh, it's very basic. I'm just doing like quads, typical hammies. I'll try to do a little groin. I need to work more on my quads. Like you see people, what's the one where the yoga stretch where the camel where you stretch backwards? No, I can't do that.
Okay. Cat and camel?
Yeah, no, not
Cat and cow. That's cat cow.
But what's the one you're like on your hands and knees and you lean back? Oh, you know what? Is it next week? We're gonna find out.
Yes,
Yeah.
Ryan. Yoga by Ryan. She'll be here.
So our Ryan is super excited that Ryan's coming in.
Yeah, we have she's the bendiest, but also one of the most delightful women I know.
Yeah.
And she is an amazingly limber young lady, very flexible. But she also spends a lot of time researching the mechanics of the human body. So we're going to have her in. So I want to kind of dig deeper into what you just said about stretching, because I'm all for the longevity type exercising, the things that you don't burn out on.
I mean, I'm about it. And it's just something. It's so crazy because you think it's like 10 minutes. I'm sitting in front of the TV, 10 minutes. Why am I not stretching instead of sitting?
Right.
I have gotten better. I'm not eating Cheetos constantly. So there's that.
Okay.
But let's pivot. So you're back. What are you most excited about being back with the family?
Oh my gosh. Every day something reminds me of back in the day. For those who don't know, 2.5 years ago, I was a part of the show now. I also still did radio at that time. So this is the first time that I'm able to, my whole day is surrounded with, what are we going to be doing tomorrow? What did we do yesterday? I didn't really have that kind of time or opportunity the last time around. So just today we got to eat some delicious barbecue. And I was like, I forgot about the delicious food that you get to sample here. And just talking about hey, we should go out and find a place to shoot this story. And it's just fun to know that every day is an adventure. And if you're curious about something, you can actually follow it up with a few hours at your job. My new thing, by the way, if anyone watching is familiar with the concept of grounding, I'm determined to find someone local to bring on the show to talk about it. So grounding is, do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, you just go barefoot out in the grass
or now they're
beach.
selling mats and all kinds of, there's all kinds of.
That seems like
That
money
seems,
grab.
snake oily, right?
Yeah.
But then I posted something and people were raving about it.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right. I remember when you tested out with Dr. Tracy that barefoot running. So.
Yeah, she's really into that barefoot running. So she's
that.
someone I can talk to about that. And she's coming on the show here in a few weeks, so we can ask her.
And then just really quick, our time's running short. What's it like to, one, have one job, and two, not have to wake up at 2 a.m?
Well, I was having whole conversations this morning with my husband at 6 a.m. I'm like, people have conversations when they're not on the clock this early in the morning. What is happening right now? It's going to be really interesting, but it's been fun. I passed some people on my way out of the neighborhood. They were all bundled up out for a walk this morning. And I was going to unroll the window and say hello. And then I realized, I still said hello, but I realized they were students on their way to the bus stop. I never see people on their way to the bus stop when I used to leave my house at 4 a.m.
Well, and also you'll be able to find your shoes because there were some
Getting
times
dressed in the dark.
Eden would come in. She's like, I was in the dark. They're the same shade, but different shoes.
Different shoes.
It's all good.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, welcome back.
Thank
Looking
you.
forward to our new adventures together on the desk and exploring Jacksonville, reclaiming our place.
And please, everyone, do reach out because we are looking for, always looking for the stories, but there might be some things that you think that I might be extra interested in just because it might have to do with, like I just said, walking or grounding or any of these fad things. So let me know. Hit me up.
Viral. We'll call them that. Viral. All right. So tomorrow we will be back probably at 10:15 for River City Plus and at 9:30 for River City Live.